What you say to yourself matters. I want to get a little bit real with you guys today. A lot of people who know me now see me as a fairly confident, outgoing, charismatic kind of guy. Someone who can get on camera, who can lead other people, who can talk to strangers, make friends fairly quickly. But that was not always the case. For a lot of my life, it wasn't. And it's something that I don't talk about a lot because I still see myself a lot of days as the person I used to be. I want to talk about this because we don't enough. We don't talk about the things that we tell ourselves and how they impact everything else. We don't talk about that stuff enough. So I want to discuss this with you guys because it is so important. The things that you say to yourself shape your life. It took me so long to learn this. For a long time, I told myself that I'm not worth anything. People don't really like me. I'm awkward. People don't want to listen to me. People don't care. I told myself these things and they weren't true. And they just set me back. They put me in such a mental place that I had a hard time believing when things were going well that people actually wanted to be around me or that they thought that I was someone to look up to. I didn't believe that. It was incompatible with what was in my mind. And I see this happening to others, people that I care about. And it's hard. It's hard to get out of that place when you don't value yourself, when you think so little of yourself that it's hard when someone tells you that they care or that you're special or quit being so hard on yourself. You don't listen to that. When hardship comes your way, you just expect that. Of course it would happen for you. Of course another bad thing would happen. Of course things would fall through. Of course someone said that. Of course they left you. It's broken and it's not true. So I want to discuss this, and I was listening to a podcast yesterday and they brought up the story we hear most often is the story we tell ourselves about ourselves. And when I heard it, it made so much sense because it's true. The story that we tell ourselves, the soundtrack of our life, if you will, whatever you have playing in your head, the default mantra, response, soundtrack, whatever you want to call it, whatever that programming is, will shape your experiences in life. And I'm not saying that it's going to be easy to change it if your programming is negative or it's not serving you, but it is possible to change it. And it starts small. When I went to college, I first really got a taste of an ability to change. I wasn't happy with who I was. And so I started consuming a lot of self-help books. I read a ton. I started shifting what I was putting in my brain. And over time, it started to kind of give me new perspectives. And it taught me how to change how I saw myself. And over a couple of years, it started to actually become more of who I was. I didn't feel like I was forcing it anymore. It was just who I became. And that can be extremely disheartening if you haven't started that process yet, to hear that it took years. But you can't expect to make a huge change on something that you've been developing, over the last decade. If you've had an entire life of negative thinking, you're not going to change it in 2 weeks. It's going to take time. But if you put in some effort to just change what media you consume, what you put into your mind, you can start to change what that voice says, and you can start being a little bit kinder to yourself. There are 2 questions that I want you to ask whenever you start hearing that negative voice in your head. The first is it true? Is whatever you're saying true? If it's about relationships and you say, I ruined this, or they left because of me, or they're always angry because I did something, ask yourself, is that true? Is it actually true? Because it probably isn't. You're probably putting blame on yourself for something that you didn't do. And the second thing is, if you said that same thing to a friend, would they want to be friends with you after? And most of the time, the things we say to ourselves are so cruel. We would never say it to a friend or a loved one. We'd never say it to them. We'd be the biggest jerk ever. Yet we do it to ourselves. Why? Start being your own friend if you want other people to be friends with you. You need to love you first. I know that that can be challenging. I know that sometimes it can be frustrating to be who we are at a given moment, but you're not stagnant. You can grow, you can change, you can develop yourself into someone that you're happy with. Quit worrying about what other people think and start focusing on what you think about you. And when you get that right, life gets so much happier. It really does. And I know this was kind of a weird place to take today, but I want people to understand this, that life is not business and creating stuff and like that's all great, but if you're not happy, none of that stuff matters. And happiness is something that you find for yourself. It's not outside. It's not when you reach some goal or get something. It comes from you. It has to come from you first. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and please remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and drink some water. I'll see you tomorrow.